Hey everyone, it's Will, Gamer Dad, with another video for you. So again, I apologize for the delay in putting out this new video. I've been using my red keys on trying to grind out Daisy's 5-star tome in Man-Eating Marsh very hard, with no success. However, I decided to use one of my valuable red keys in order to kind of show you all the basics of running this new ensemble dungeon, or shall I say old ensemble dungeon. For those who've done Maze 5-star quest and ensemble, you actually end up going to the same dungeon, which is the Holmes Lost Atelier. And however, when you enter the first time, the Bard, aka Sensationalist, they all look the same, he will reintroduce himself and kind of talk to you about some additional access to different paintings, aka doors or worlds that you can explore. Now, if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate it. I also do have a Patreon account for those who want to support me this way. So there are two versions. This video only illustrates the easy or the normal version, and I would recommend using the easy or normal version to hoard up the magic stones that you require, or the rust color stones, because you'll need to buy all these buffs in order to tackle some of the more difficult challenges in this ensemble. So for those who don't know, the hard version features 4 different elemental bosses, aka the four great elementals, and you've seen them before: the Gnome, Sylph, Undyne, and Great Salamander. And you'll need to actually do 4.5 billion, that is billion with a B, in order to unlock all the rewards and also take on a super boss in the future. Now, that being said, you do actually have to buy a lot of buff items in order to kind of take that on and make it easier for yourself. However, in this case, I'm just going to hoard up points and get these rust color stones in the easy one, because the challenges isn't that hard. You only need to deal 90 million, so less than 100 million. That's very doable given all the buffs that you're allowed to collect along the way in this dungeon before taking on the easy boss. Now, I will say, don't worry about killing off the boss. You just have to make at least the minimum requirements, like I said, which is about 90 million, and you do have to break the shields that it has based on the HP levels it has. And so the first time I ran this, it's a little bit confusing. I actually asked my children, because they are far advanced ahead of me. They are kind of grinding through that 4.5 billion damage cap. However, if you can see, there's a whole bunch of different mobs, and if you tap on the icons, it'll tell you which benefits you get for killing them. Now, note that you only get to kill 3 of each of these kind of mobs before moving on to the stage, and there's actually, I believe, 3 different rounds. And so you can get things like crit damage up for physical, you can get int power, 5%, earth resistance down. And keep in mind, there are 4 sections. I chose the one that is water because clearly we are bringing in an earth magic team. However, if you are bringing in another dedicated elemental team, then obviously you would choose the appropriate opposite element that you have the advantage over. So you definitely need to plan ahead, because each run of this does cost 1 red key. And so my recommendation, if you haven't already, or if you've already experienced it, you already know what I'm talking about. Bring a dedicated elemental team to either challenge the easy one so you can guarantee yourself max rewards, or in the case of trying to challenge a hard version and get max rewards and unlock some of those extra rewards and finally a super boss, then you also have to plan ahead with maximum loads of grass stuff. I personally haven't taken on all those 4.5 billion damage. This is really my first run at it, and so just kind of playing around with it. So in terms of the buffs you want, if you have a physical team, I would highly recommend getting the crit damage up. Note that crit damage up only applies to physical attacks, and so I was a little bit unprepared. I brought an earth magic team. There really isn't a magic crit damage up yet in the game, and hopefully WFS release one of those in the future. But for now, if you want, I definitely think a physical team would be highly effective against these bosses as opposed to a magical team, so bear that in mind. So I will come back with, in my case, most likely an Earth Blunt team featuring the likes of AS Miyufa, AS Tsubame. We'll have to see. I'll do some experimentation and let you know the results by putting up new videos over the next few days when I have a little bit more time. You can also check the status of the buffs you get either by clicking on, there's an icon kind of like almost like a temple stone, either right before the boss fight or so on and so forth. I think this, the one with the white exclamation mark, you can check the status of the effects that you get. They stay on essentially for the whole dungeon, and so you can tailor your team to the best of your abilities. Now, let me know in the comments below what you think the best buffs are. I mean, I decided to mix int with type attack up and type resist down. However, I do think that raw stats such as int will probably be more beneficial than 5% earth resistance down and so on and so forth. However, I guess it really depends on what team you're bringing as well. In this case, I do have AS Rosetta with Days Array, which would apply an instant 50% type resist down once she gets 3 stacks as she attacks 3 times. But if you don't have a type resist down, you might choose that. Although AS Myris does give everyone an int bonus as she attacks with Earth Spiral. So yeah, if you have any tips for me to customize the units better, I think I would be happy to take your suggestions. Although, like I said, definitely switch to a physical team and get those crit damage up as often as you can, because 45% crit damage up is essentially 90% extra damage. Remember that crit damage is already double, and when you get an extra 45% of that is just more damage, period. Alright, so we are at the third area of mobs, and this one is actually really, really important. Not only do you have int and power and the standard earth type, type up, earth resist down, you also have the ability to get things like stances. So you can choose the element one, which in this case I'm going to choose the Torn Earth stance, aka Earth Zone. Otherwise, you saw the icon right below me in this area where you can get Flash Strike stance. So again, you can cater and tailor your team to the best loadout that you'd like. If you're wondering why I chose Earth stance, first of all, I didn't plan ahead. I didn't remember that AS Rosetta does not function well in Earth Zone, and so again, this is my first foray. Didn't really think too much ahead. However, keep in mind that Earth Zone favors AS Chio a lot. Some of her most damaging moves, the Riki Conquest, is less effective in other zones, and it really effectively only works in Magic or Earth Zone for maximum benefit. Whereas the other two units, AS Myris and AS Clark, I would say when you use their Earth moves, you pretty much can do anything you want, and it will be functioning with Flash Strike or Earth Zone. Keep in mind that with Flash Strike, you do get 10% AF bar gain per attack, versus Elemental Zones getting only 5% Elemental attack. One thing to note, I believe this chest also has a chance of chant scripts. One of my children did get a chant script, just like other very hard dungeons. I guess it will be a 1 in 200 chance or 0.5% chance. Alright, so it says 3 layers of power. I'm assuming that just means 3 shields. We have the Earth Zone as usual, and we're just going to bar it down and see what we get. Remember, you only have 1 turn to do as much damage as you can. So you really essentially have to do a 1-turn AF, which suits a lot of people's strategies anyways. So Flash Strike stance would definitely have been useful, although you sacrifice some power from AS Chio, you would actually have enhanced the damage on AS Clark, since you have more turns to really do multiple stacks of Terra Lumiere, and then finally multiple stacks of Voldothnir. So lesson learned, only 750 million. Not really impressive, and I do apologize for not killing the boss off. However, as long as you get max reward, and like I said, this is the basic one to hoard up all those rust color stones, and you also do need those deep scarlet stones. So yeah, 700 million. It says max rewards, and that's all that matters. I know participation rewards are a thing nowadays, hahaha. And you get those deep scarlet stones, 750. As you get more of those, you actually unlock rewards similar to Maze Quest. You can farm out a bunch of Chronos Stones and I believe some chat scripts as you work through as well. So the only thing other to note is that you really do want to plan out hoarding some of these. I would recommend doing a couple of these, getting some of these items, which is the Rust Color Stones, then buy the boost you need ahead of time, especially for the difficult stages, in order to maximize that 4.5 billion damage. And I wish you all good luck in getting that. I think I'll need a lot of luck myself. Anyways, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.